Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Haiku Report. It's my pleasure to share with you the facts and the figures and the fun that we had this year. You'll notice a little difference from last year's presentation. I'm a little bit more casual. The suit is not here right now. We're enjoying a ginger ale, as this is a laid-back time for us. But in any case, I'm very excited to celebrate what we've managed to do this year and share what was a very successful year here in the Cleveland Top Stream with regards to haikus. So without further ado, let's begin. Let's go through the agenda. First, we'll do a reintroduction, go through some haiku fast facts, production facts and figures from this year. We'll discuss the haiku sale. We'll talk about engagement. We'll talk about the global distribution of haikus. And then that's all. We'll talk about the haiku champs, celebrate the haiku champs, and then we're all done. We'll call it a year. So the first few slides are taken from last year's presentation. First, let's talk about the process. The stream, which you're currently watching. We take words, components of words, etc. Combine them with channel points and bits, turn them into haikus, give them to a dirty ne'er-do-well mooch, who you guys seem to find very popular, and run it through improved fact-checking, data collecting, and accounting, and get it out to you, the customers, the haiku fam, the hooligans, the backbone of the Cleveland Top Stream. What's a haiku? Well, there you go. Haikus are short-form poetry originally from Japan with 3 basic rules. 17 syllables in 3 lines. 5 syllables in the first line, 7 syllables in the second line, and 5 syllables in the third line. Everyone should have a pretty good grasp on this if you're familiar with the stream. Haiku fun facts. I'll call them fun. They originally started out as a larger part of a larger poem called Arenga. They became kind of standalone entities known as haiku, not to be confused with hocus pocus. The current name was given by Masa Okashiki at the end of the 19th century. There's many languages under varying rules and structures for haiku, and modern, more flexible haiku traditions exist. I sort of think that's kind of where we're at. We do a lot of... We play pretty fast and loose with the rules. I think that's how we like it, so... No. It is what it is. So let's get to the fun stuff here. Let's celebrate with some haiku fast facts. This is what you want to know, of course, if you're interested in the game. First of all, 2,515 haikus. An absolutely baffling number. We did it over 126 official canon streams. It doesn't include the 7 or 4 streams that we did, the PB Bonanza, and also the 2022 Haiku Slam replay, which were unofficial streams. 87 total hooligans, better than 69 from last year. The largest non-sale day was 50. We had 50 haikus on Haikumas, the last official haiku day of the year. The haiku sale, 341 haikus, an absolutely beastly number. We averaged 17.3 haikus per stream at 100% engagement. Guys, there wasn't a single stream that was done this year that didn't have haikus in it. If I'm not mistaken, the minimum number was actually 4. We did at least 4 haikus in every single stream this year. And some landmarks for us. The first haiku of the year was by our pal PJ. Mesquite Barbecue Chips. Remember that banger? And the last one by Phenomenal Sir on Haikumas. Haiku Smith, Hot Dog, Hero. So that's the whole gambit. First haiku was on New Year's Day. Last one was on November 29th. So over 126 streams, 2,515 haikus. Next, I thought it would be good to do some comparisons because we like to see how we've grown over the years. So let's do some comparisons of 2022. First, and obviously, we want to talk about the total haikus. You see the jump there from 1,046 to 2,515. It's 2.5 times practically as many haikus. That's a huge number. We did about the same amount of streams, 130 versus 126, which I think is fair. Squeezing them in gets a little tricky from time to time. Next, haikus per stream. double, 2.5 times that, which kind of makes sense because these are non-sale numbers for both. But you can still see serious volume, and we'll talk about distribution of those numbers in haikus per stream as we get to a little bit further down the line here. Next, the number of hooligans, you see basically a 25% improvement or increase in the amount of hooligans we've got. More than that, in fact, so that's growth. I'm here for it. We expanded our haiku reach. We went from 10 countries, including the Sovereign Kingdom of Brand Diesel, up to 13 this year, where we added some new countries. We lost a few, but we added some more up, so we'll talk about those a little later too. Overall engagement from 79.3% of all streams to 100% of all streams last year. Big ups. I thought it could be possible, given how last year finished. I think we did haikus in every stream for the last 4 months, so I figured 100% was going to happen this year. The haiku sale itself, a little bit less time haikuing a stream. I think the stream was actually shorter this year for the haiku sale, but we did a lot more action. There was almost no gaming, almost nothing regarding any other content. It was just go. It was a true sprint and a marathon at the same time. So the takeaway from this, everything was bigger and better this year. Everything we did so much more of it. That's the part that we want to keep saying. Bigger and better and more focused on haikus this year as a stream. Next, let's talk about production facts and figures. You'll see up on the left side there, the daily haiku count tracker. This is how many haikus we did on every stream. On the right there, you'll see the daily haiku running total. So every day what the running total was. A couple things we want to point out here. You'll see, that section there. That's what we're calling the haiku trough. That is about 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the sale and the period after. People saving points, maybe people getting their reserves back. You can see it there also. Basically the same stretch. Things are relatively flat, and then they pop back up again to a normal, pretty consistent plot at the end of the year. I also want to make note that we did 60 consecutive streams of 10 plus haikus. That whole section there from the end of March all the way until the end of August. 60 streams with 10 or more haikus. You can't keep a streak like that forever, so I was disappointed to see it go, but I get it. Nothing lasts forever, even cold November rain. Next, we divided the haiku count incidences and the haiku users, kept a little data with our advanced data keeping. You can see here, this shows the least amount of haikus we did in the stream was 4. That's 30 plus, actually. That 31 column is actually 30 plus incidences, so we had a lot of streams where we did more than 30. I didn't want to draw the chart out too far. If you look at the haiku user incidences, we did one stream where there was just 2, up to 17 people. These are all non-sale numbers, mind you. What I wanted to do to get a real feel for what we did or how the data came out was I wanted to find like the center 50%. The 25th percentile, the 75th percentile, you'll see it here. The middle 50% was between 12 and 22 haikus, which puts our average right about dead center. So that holds up. And then ultimately, the middle 50% of users per stream was between 7 and 11 haikus. And what that says to me is that it's not always the same faces. There is a core ride or die demographic, which we'll talk about later. But there's people coming in and out. There's a lot of variation in there for what we're used to expecting. And as the year went on, those numbers generally went up, more pushing towards the double digits of users per stream. So more engagement as the year went on. We'll talk about that later. We have data on that too. So let's talk about next here. Let's talk about the haiku data per month and the haiku per stream. As once again, you can still see the haiku trough in the middle there. We started out with a pretty fast pace, peaking in April, really with 252 haikus in April, which is a massive feat. We did a little less streams in the summer just due to being busy, but also, like I said, the trough at June where we took vacation and also around the sale, numbers were down, but then they popped right back up into that 15 to 18 haikus per stream range over the course of the year. Next, haikus per hooligan. We took all the hooligans, all 87 of you, and we figured out the demographics of who's getting haikus. You can still see a pretty significant portion of the haikus, nearly a quarter, still with just one haiku. People pop in, get a haiku, and that's it. They've had their fill, and off they go. And as you get into more and more numbers, the participants gets lower and lower too. You see basically up to where you get to 26 to 50 haikus. That's pretty much representing the highest 25% or so. We had a lot of people in that 51 to 100 range, which we'll talk about them later. And of course the haiku champs. So many people got 100 haikus this year. Way more than last year. I would say, with the exception of Brandy's big number last year, 6 people would have been number 2 last year based on what they did this year. And of course, one person got over 300, who I'm pretty sure we'll discuss it in somewhat excruciating detail. Let's see what we got next here. Let's talk about engagement and enrollment. My goal here was to keep a pretty consistent. We want to keep a pretty consistent number of people coming in. We also wanted a good amount of the total body of haiku hooligans to be coming in on a monthly basis and getting haikus. That's why I created this chart here. Obviously, you're going to start out at 100% because everybody gets in there. 29 haiku hooligans in the first month, so 1/3 of the entire year's worth of hooligans started in January. We had phases where we got a few more. I know July was pretty good because of the haiku sale. We picked up a handful just from there. And after a while, 2 or 3 per month as people popped in. Big months for us in terms of impact. Obviously, January. January is where a lot of the ride or dies came in. A lot of your streakers, a lot of people who participated in the process all year long. That's when they started. March was especially large for us too. A lot of big names came in that year. That's when we got Philip Schneider. That's when we got Compy. That's when Popcorn Cannon started up. That's when Colin C. Crispin started up. So busy month for us. We got a lot of haikus out of the March hooligans too. They were very productive. It was like a new crop of freshmen came in and really stirred the pots a little bit. February was also good too. A lot of common names with high numbers. I think Fat Cat also started out then, and he would probably be the best guy to start out from that month. But pretty steady contributions. Steady streak of hooligans coming through. We made a few big numbers late. Chelsea P, I believe, came in about August, and we kept engagement somewhere in the 40% range as the year went to an end. So all in all, steady contributions from everybody. What we got next here? Let's talk about the haiku sale. The haiku sale is a pretty important part of the year. It's when we really put ourselves out there and test our mettle as far as our ability to write and perform haikus in a relatively short period of time. First, let's talk about this. July 22nd was a haiku sale. Haikus were half cost. We did 10 plus hours of haiku requests alone. I took haiku requests for exactly 10 hours. And then also 13 plus hours of streaming. That means the NQ was 13 plus hours. I think we went 13:08. Pardon the phone. I thought I silenced it. I'm not going to re-record this. We're 13 minutes in. So 341 haikus, as I mentioned. 28 hooligans participated. 13.5% of all the haikus in the year came from the sale. Last year was 17%. I thought the haiku sale was so monumentous that it deserved its own haiku champ board. There's a lot of big numbers in this one. Let's take a look at it. You can see Darthling with 53 haikus. That in itself is ride or die status on its own. So Compy also really putting in numbers. Rocket 44. That's 40% of his haikus for the year. Brandy with like 10% of hers, a little bit more than that. A lot of Phenomenal Sir, 20% of his. Like a lot of busy guys in there. Joey was a big hitter with 11. 9 Names made his last big appearance in there. Shadow got out of his comfort zone of getting singles and loaded up for the sale. So we had it exploded the numbers for the year. I don't include them in most of the diagrams because it just sticks out like a sore thumb. It doesn't tell us what we want to know. But those are your haiku sale, haiku champs. Next year we're going to do probably a similar approach. I'm going to try to make it bigger, try to extend the times on it, and really get that stuff out of here better. Get bigger numbers and keep getting better and keep moving forward. All right, so next, let's talk about engagement. This is a fun slide. We like to talk about engagement. So let's see, first bit, a haiku for every stream. That's fantastic news. We did 1 haiku at least in every stream. As I mentioned, 4 at minimum in every stream, and 60 stream streak of 10 haikus that we performed. That is fantastic numbers. Next, a stream attendance by hooligans. We divide all the hooligans up in their attendance, It says here that a quarter of the hooligans got a haiku in 10% of the stream. So it's people that are popping in, saving points, getting haikus once a month or so. That's good. I mean, that's, the numbers are built. Well, we have data that shows that the numbers are built in singles just as well as they're built in big numbers and in splash haiku purchases, for lack of a better word, or haiku receipts. What else we got here? We took attendance, of course, like any good program here, so let's celebrate some of those. Let's talk about our attendance champs. These are the people that made it a point to get in and get haikus as consistently or as frequently as possible. What I've done is I've divided them into 3 layers. These are the bronze tier. Bronze tier is people who did 25% of haikus up to 50% of haikus, and those names are right here. You'll see Health, Compy, Philip Schneider, Kelmez, Phenomenal Surf, Fat Cat, Gustavo Chapman. People put a lot of haikus in. You're going to get a lot of haikus. You're going to need to be there quite a bit. I want to say basically Gustavo isn't a champ and Kelmez isn't a champ, but there's still a lot of participating in the stream. Next, the silver tier. The silver tier is people who went from 50% to 90% of the streams, and let's take a look at those wonderful human beings. There you go, look at that. Darthling, 81%, Brandy, 83%, and Shadow all the way up to 85%. Mind you, this is a guy who didn't get a haiku until probably stream 9 or 10 of the year too. So he was a home run hitter for the rest of the year. We'll talk about him here in a few more clicks. And of course, the gold tier and attendance champ of the year, of course, is Jedi. If you look at that, nearly 93% of all the Cleveland Tom canon streams where haikus were available, Jedi was in there and getting some. I think the daytime streaming didn't really agree with him too much, but by and large, he was here every stream, which is very impressive, and we salute you. I suspect this isn't the last time we talk about Jedi in this stream either. I do want to make a special note for what we're calling the Iron Man Award. There you go. There's the Iron Man Award. Would you look at that? Some production value in the stream. This goes out to Muta Shadow for putting in 100 consecutive streams and still going. He received a haiku in every single stream since, I want to say, March 27th or so. So every stream for the rest of the year. So it's an impressive streak. No streak even comes close to it. There's some people with 10s and 15 level streaks, but 100 streams and still going is massive, and it takes a lot of dedication and determination to get that many haikus. So we appreciate you. Enjoy the fictional Iron Man Award. You see, he shoots toms at you. Should you need it, congratulations. I like this slide. This slide has a lot of great information on it. Next, let's talk about. Okay, there we go. What I did is I went through the data and we called what are called haiku events. What a haiku event is any stream in which any individual gets any number of haikus. So there's 1,251 of these this year. That means whether you came in and got 1 haiku or you came in and got 50 haikus during the haiku sale, those are all titled haiku events, because I really wanted to get my handle on what the engagement was like and who's doing what and where our haikus are coming from, if we're looking about where the source of our big numbers are. So we made a couple of pie charts here. This first one here, haiku events during the year. So basically what this is telling you is that 61% of all the haiku events are 1 haiku. Someone comes in and gets 1 haiku, making up a majority of that. You can also see more than 1% of people getting 10 plus. A majority of that is from the haiku sale, obviously. And there's a few scattered ones out there. I know Brandy did multiple 10 haiku days. I think Compy did too. But still, there's a lot of haiku events that were over 10, but primarily in the 1 to 2. That makes up 82.5% of all your haiku incidents, or haiku events rather, come from people getting 1 or 2 haikus. So people coming in, getting a haiku, enjoying the process, and being consistent. But you might ask yourself, what does that mean in terms of what total haikus are for each kind of event? So we have another pie chart here that shows still half of the haikus that we've done for the entire year were tied to haikus, 1 or 2 haikus events. So it's still people coming in regularly, getting haikus, enjoying the content, and coming in and coming back over and over and over again. It's also a lot of people just coming in to get 1. 1% of all those haiku incidents are people coming in and getting their only haiku of the year. But that's only 1% of the entire year. It's 27 people out of 27 events out of 1,251. That's 2.5%. The rest of the deal is people coming in consistently getting haikus, and obviously you can see the greater than 10 count is pretty massive because there's some big numbers in there. The haiku sale was 13.5% of the entire year, so it kind of holds up. But it's the takeaway from that for me is that hooligans dropping in and getting one haiku regularly. We want to make sure that everybody gets good quality efforts. Everybody gets good quality work, good quality haikus, because people are popping in regularly and getting haikus from the stream, and that's what we like. I like this data. This data gives me a good idea of who the haiku hooligan base really is. There's a vocal minority, but it's also people coming in and getting occasional periodic haikus too. And we're happy to have everybody here. Next, this is by far a multinational stream. What we've done is we have a global celebration of haikus for the many countries that we've gotten haikus from. I thought I would get footage or pictures from all these various countries celebrating their adopting of the haiku standard. So let's get through all of them. Let's see what we got here. First country, let's talk about the Netherlands. 3 haikus. Scarface Nico pops in. Look at they're wild in the streets though of Amsterdam. They can't hardly handle it. Nico is the representative, duly appointed representative from that country to this haiku or to this stream of getting haikus. We like Nico. He's consistent. 3 last year, 3 this year. Not too bad. Next up, Morocco. Faminator came in and he came in and got a lot of haikus about camels, but he crossed to the Strait. Haikus crossed the Strait of Gibraltar and onto the African continent. I'm very excited about that. You'll see later what the actual world reach is for all the haikus that we've got. Those guys, they're a little bit more relaxed over there. They're not going to get too hyped about it, but they're in it still. They're in it to win it. Next, the mighty country of Spain. While I know there's always a referendum of separating and becoming different countries, one thing that they can agree on is the haiku. Tia Sandia came in near the end of the year, made a pretty big impact with 5 haikus for herself, getting us more traction in Europe, where we want to be, where a lot of our viewers are. We congratulate you. Thank you very much. Though she is Finnish, I'm not mistaken, she lives in Spain, so we're giving her Spain. Next, Norway. We had the first Norway haikus this year. Sheepdog 81 popped in, and he got some haikus for us on a pretty regular basis, especially playing Star Tropics. A lot of theme stuff, but we're becoming very popular in the entire north of Europe. Next, the UK, Nintendo Natalie holding it down. Maybe she's the true queen of England now. 12 haikus over the course of the year. We had a few more people from the country, but there's actually more haikus this year out of the UK than last year. All you need is Nats. She's doing a great job holding it down for us. And then we have Australia, Land Down Under. It was a popular country last year. It's popular this year. 9 names once again. Single haiku, holding it down. Big contributor during the haiku sale. He's the guy who's a haiku champ last year and decided to take a year off from haiku champ status to let somebody else dance in the glow. Congratulations to Australia. 25 haikus for one haiku hooligan. Next, Sweden comes in. Sweden's really a two-person country. It's Alice and Koss. Over the course of the year, Sweden's always been pretty good to us last year. I think both of those were honorable mentions last year too. Not quite, but still roughly about the same numbers too. So we might want to double down our efforts to impress those people to get them back in here. Next, we have Finland. Finland is, I think, 2 people. That might be a typo. I know Hocus Pocus is big on there, and also our pal Vidoof came in and got one. We do big in Finland. Look at that lovely country. I'd like to go there someday. It seems like a nice place. But we're getting all the Scandinavia. However, Finland wasn't the number 1 country in Europe this year for haikus. That honor goes to Denmark. You can see Pickle Pepper there. Pickle Pepper is looking to mooch a sub, but get a haiku with his efforts there. I assume that's how they all look. 52 haikus from that one little small country. A pretty high per capita number, not as high as some of the other countries we're going to see later. GG's to Pickle and the good people of Denmark for contributing greatly to the haiku world order. Next, we did really well in the Southern Hemisphere this year. Brazil, they like their sports, they like their jiu-jitsu, they like their football, and now they like haikus. Kelmez came in, he was here frequently throughout the year getting haikus. Southern Hemisphere haiku champ. That's not a bad place to be in. We're welcoming haikus into South America. That's very exciting for us also. We're happy to see it. We're happy to know it. Maybe we'll do better next year. Maybe we'll get some more people in there. Next up, of course, Canada. Of course, our neighbors to the north. We are just brothers who don't talk that much anymore. But haiku is bringing us together. 183 haikus out of the 8 hooligans from the country. Rocket Sauna, of course, being the Canadian haiku champ. Joey End Gaming was a big contributor, and also Doomtap. Doomtap got 9 haikus this year. For a guy who doesn't like haikus, he managed to get 9 haikus. So we want to keep our foothold in Canada. We want to keep it strong. Hopefully, we don't lose footing up there. Next up, a small independent nation that seceded from the America for the sole purpose of establishing haiku dominance. We're going to call it the Sovereign Kingdom of Brand Diesel. 365 haikus for one hooligan. Though that's not exactly true. I forgot High Flyer's there too. I'm not sure why that math doesn't work out. He had a handful this year also. But still, quite a haul. You can tell that some dog that looks like Poof is very excited for their celebration as a nation. I mean, have you ever seen a more chilled out dog than that? More than 365 haikus for the Sovereign Kingdom of Brand Diesel, which makes it basically the greatest per capita country in the world. It's about 170 haikus per person, or 180 plus haikus per person, which is quite the feat for such a small independent nation. Maybe they'll come back to America someday, I don't know. And last but not least, of course, the big ol' swinging United States of America, 1,693 haikus for 65 hooligans. From day one, a lot of the haiku hooligans, a lot of the haiku champs are Americans. I'm an American. We're going to do well in America. USA all the way. I'm not surprised. Look at that eagle flying high over the haiku fields. Congratulations to us and all of my fellow Americans out there for getting the #1 haiku nation in the world. Now, lastly, we want to do a nice summary of all this. Look at this. It's a haiku world, and we're all living in it. Look at all that red. That's all haiku countries. Notice that's not trademarked, so you're going to be able to use that as much as you want. You can see we hit 5 continents. Asia let me down this year. I would have loved to have got one on all 6 of the continents that people live on, but we'll do it. We'll come back next year. But we'll bang it out a little harder. You see, we do very well in North America and Northern Europe. But we hit a lot of continents, so I'm pretty proud of it. So it's a haiku world, fam, and we're all living in it. Let's see what we got next here. Let's do the haiku champs. So I decided I wanted to include everybody in this presentation as much as I possibly could, because every haiku hooligan has value. So I divided all the haiku hooligans into 3 tiers. The first tier, associate hooligans. If you get 1 haiku at any point during the year, you are an associate hooligan. That will go up to 50% of the 10th place haiku champ. And if you do 50% of the 10th place haiku champ or more, you're a ride or die hooligan. You are truly ride or die. You are here on a regular basis. You're getting a lot of haikus. You are a backbone and an essential portion of the stream, because there's a lot of numbers coming out of those people. Also, I wanted a chance to give people more. What's the word I'm looking for? More acknowledgement for getting haikus outside of the top 10. And of course, the top tier. Of course, there could be any number of ride or die hooligans. It's not limited. That's why I wanted to create this tier. Then, of course, the last tier, the haiku champs, the big 10 most prolific haiku requesters of the year. As you go up the line there, you get just a little bit more recognition from me, and you always get my appreciation, but a little more recognition for your contributions are always in order. So now let's go through these groups and let's give everybody their due and their proper appreciation for what they've contributed to me on the stream. First, let's talk about the associate hooligans. You can see there, conveniently, 69 of them, if I'm not mistaken, which is nice. You can ignore the request to have him sleep on your couch. You can see, see Chrisman and Slay and Koss, and those guys were the top tier of those. They didn't have enough haikus to qualify for the next tier. All the way down to the last few who got haikus this year. That's Jennifer Hollywood, Han Banan, and anybody else who had contributed some to the stream this year in haikus. I thank you very much. You're an essential piece of the haiku landscape. I'm very thankful that you guys come in and get haikus. I hope to see more of you next year getting more, because I think there's plenty of room to improve for everybody. Next one, I decided to assemble a super covert, aggressive ride or die haiku team so that everybody gets some nicknames. Let's talk about the ride or die hooligans, because you don't have to get ready when you stay ready. This is in order of haikus they've gotten, by the way. So the first member of the team is the quiet assassin, Joey in Gaming. Joey's our Canadian friend. He comes in, he gets haikus, asks a lot of personal questions. He don't say much, he doesn't do much when you're there, but he's always in the background lurking. And his stream, check him out. There's Joey. He's a ride or die hooligan. Next, a new addendum to the group, relatively speaking, to the hooligans. Oh no, sorry, wrong one. But Bagler 5 is next. He's the king of the big rocks. You know, when he's not out there climbing rocks and living his best young man, tall with good hair life, he's out there getting haikus. So thank you, Bagler, very much. I appreciate you, pal. Super nice guy. Next up, a new member, relatively speaking, to the hooligans in general, Chelsea P, otherwise known as Mama Bear. We did a lot of chronicling of her year and her time together. She came in kind of, she came in with Jedi, and then I guess she decided to stay. So welcome into the Ride or Die Hooligan Squad. Up next, Finnish Magic, Hocus the Pocus. You know, she loves her sauna, and when the heat gets turned up, there's nobody I'd rather have ride or die haiku hooliganing more than Hocus Pocus. She spent some time in the top 10 this year too, early in the year. Just the time zone difference probably set her back a little bit, but we still like having Hocus around. She's the best. She's the bee's knees. Up next, Pickle Peppers the Mooch. He's going door to door. He's looking for subs so we can get those sweet, sweet channel points so we can get haikus. A lot of serious out of him, a lot of trees, a little bit of light trolling, and a little bit of meta, but I think that's what Pickles is good for. Next one, the Debbie Whisperer, Popcorn Cannon, with his squad of Debbies, willing to win over the hearts and minds and other things potentially of all of our enemies out there. You gotta have a playboy in the ride or die hooligans, and Popcorn definitely fits that one up. Go check him out. Get yourself a Debbie. Mine is Jennifer Connelly from 1997 or so. Next up, Kelmez, 100 Brazilian, our man living in the southern hemisphere, our agent down south. He's keeping track of things. He's enjoying the opposite season weather. He's reporting on work down there. You never know when he's going to pop up. Kelmez, he's 100 Brazilian. You know that. I like that joke. I'm going to keep doing it. And the eighth and final member of the Ride or Die Hooligans, here he goes, Gustavo Shrapnel, otherwise known as Mr. 69. Gustavo, he could have been a haiku champ. He had all the necessary points and determination to do so, but my man got to 69 haikus and he said, you know what, I'm alright with that. Let me just stay here and enjoy the view. So 69 haikus for Mr. 69. Guys, thank you so much for being Ride or Die Hooligans, and congratulations on your achievement. I hope to see more Ride or Die Hooligans next year. Hopefully those numbers get higher. I want everybody to be a Ride or Die if I had it my way. Now let's go to the last tier, the haiku champs. These are the ones. They are him, guys. These are the people, the 10 people who got the most haikus in the stream over the course of the year. So they're all going to get a little more attention, a little more recognition, because they are the true, I want to say 65% of all the haikus in the stream come from these 10 individuals. So let's start with number 10. Help myself with 81 haikus. It would be really hard to completely describe Help's value to the stream in general and how much he's helped me out get things going. Last year he was also a haiku honorable mention. He would have been a Ride or Die last year. He spent most of the year on the list. You thought he was going to slide out. He slid out for a second, but eventually found his way back on in the last few weeks. Help's getting haikus about stuff that Tom says. I like his failed haiku redeem stuff that he does. I think that's great too. A true friend of the stream, a great guy, great haiku ideas. Always puts me over. There's Help at number 10. That's Addy. Help is an answer to an important stream trivia question too. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Next up, these two belong together because they're tied. Philip Schneider and Fat Cat, both with 85 haikus apiece. Both guys started later in the year. Fat Cat started in February, Phil in March. There was a bit of after the sale, there was a bit of a ruckus between the two of them as they were trying to jockey for position on there. Philip, of course, we cover the gamut of stuff with Philip, like advice, stream meta stuff. There was a part of the year where he was a robot. One time he had to eat sourdough bread for breakfast. General stream meta stuff. We don't game the same game, so there's not a commonality there. But I think we're copacetic as far as just life philosophies work. You should check him out on his stream, and of course join his Patreon. Why not? Next, I'm tied for 8th place with him as our pal Fat Cat. Fat Cat, fellow streamer also. A lot of gaming meta, especially when I'm playing Z1. We tend to play a lot of the same games. We have a lot of the same background. He currently has longer hair than me, which is a cause of some concern. Generally just a nice guy, comes in. A lot of haiku meta stuff too. A lot of haiku meta stuff, a lot of stream meta stuff, a lot of gaming meta stuff. A guy you might catch at 6 in the morning or at 11 o'clock at night. He's always around. So those two are tied for 8th. Next, let's go for number 7, the Phenomenal Sir. Phenomenal Sir, another guy who was on the outs last year. He was an honorable mention haiku champ. This year, he left little to doubt as he was in there on the first day, getting haikus all the way up to the end, making a big push on haikumas. His main mode of haiku is generally things that I say that could be noteworthy. A little bit of gaming, but mostly I'm going to embarrass myself, and he's going to turn that into some content for us. Phenomenal Sir, big Rings of Power guy, obviously. You can't say Rings of Power without saying Phenomenal Sir. Haiku champ. He was also engaged in some sabering for that position. Big hitter on the haiku sale also, which helped him out. He took advantage of those sweet prices. He's still got a ponytail. I don't know, mine might be competing with his. Vague southern accent, super great guy. Check out his stream too, the Phenomenal Sir. 95 haikus, stopped just short of 100, which is impressive considering, from what I understand, Twitch just didn't want this guy to get channel points. So he was doing a lot of struggling behind the scenes, but he never really fell off the top 10, I don't believe, the entire year, which is pretty impressive. Next, number 6. Rocket Sauna. Rocket, back again. Rocket missed podium last year. Came in 4th last year, came in 6th this year. Our friend on the opposite end of Western civilization there. He's all the way in the end of Canada. Rocket Sauna, a lot of game meta stuff, a lot of personal commentary. He made his impact during the sale, and after the sale, we really didn't see him much in stream after that. He did come in at the end of the year, though, to get his 111 final haiku. He's a musician, he's a dad, he's a good gamer. He's apparently good at sneaking retro video games past his wife without her knowing, which is a skill as a married person I think you might need. Congratulations to Rocket Sauna. He got 111 haikus. Canadian haiku champ, of course, and one of the all-time haiku greats in his own right. Coming up next, number 5, Muted Shadow. We talk about Iron Man. 100 consecutive haiku streams. Most of them won. A little bit of a pop at the sale. Just a consistent presence in the stream all year round. He's been highlighted by his the single item haiku. Like I get the impression that he's just in his house looking at stuff, getting a haiku about the thing. We did a haiku about I had to guess what kind of sandwich he ate. I found that enjoyable. He also, for a guy who has the longest, or the guy who has like a really short, a lot of one-word haiku titles, a lot of basic nouns, he also, if I'm not mistaken, has the longest haiku title of the year also. It's about a damn paragraph long. It's about not trusting the timekeepers of the time, and I think he really stepped out of himself there. Congratulations to Muted Shadow, who had a small number of haikus last year, but this year really stepped it up. I expect him to be jockeying for a nice high position at the end of the year too, just through sheer desire to complete and continue his streak. GG's to you, Shadow. Congratulations for making number 5. Up next here, we're getting into the rarefied air. Number 4, Jedi. Jedi was a pillar last year, finishing 3rd. Coming in 4th this year with a large number of haikus. Jedi, we cover a lot of sports. We cover a lot of life. We chronicled a lot of his year in his profession, his sports teams, what he likes. A good example of what you can use the haiku for is to kind of re-experience your own year and kind of have those feelings again when you as you can chronicle your entire year in your haiku and your exploits. I mean, Jedi's a haiku champ. He's a great guy. He's a mod. Check out his stream too. Doesn't get much more laid back or wholesome than Jedi. Congratulations on finishing 4th place this year. 161 haikus would have been 2nd place last year, which that's a lot of damn haikus. Pardon my French. Up next, now we're on the pillar. These are the people that got more haikus than anybody. 3 out of 87, so that puts you in pretty rarefied air there anyway. Top, 3 or 4%. First, let's start out with a new guy, a guy who had no haikus at all last year. Computer MD, obviously a Star Trek enthusiast. He's had a really big haiku impact in like the culture on the stream. Now, mind you, he didn't invent the series, but I think he took it to the next level. I mean, we had done series for Adam Uber, we had done series for Pickle Peppers, but Compy really took it. I would call him Compy. Really took it the bull by the horns and maximized the value. The 12 Days of Haikumas, some of my favorite work that I've done. A lot of haikus about like movies. We did one about Halloween candy. We did one about Back to the Future. We did one about Batman. These such great series of haikus. It makes for great content and makes for stuff that I'm happy to write, and I'm proud of doing. 221 haikus would have won last year. It shows you how much the overall haiku landscape has changed. We're welcome to have him there. He also has a real kick-ass Halloween decorations at his house. GG's Kabi for making it. I expect big things out of you next year too. Hopefully without it being, as long as it stays friendly, I expect next year's top 5 to be pretty competitive. I have a lot of interest. There's a lot of interested parties who want to get in there. Coming in next, the silver position, occupying the same spot as he was last year, Darthling with 276 haikus, a crazy number. Darthling's also a guy who used haikus to chronicle his year, whether it be through what he was interested in gaming, through his professional work, through his sports teams, quality lists of topics, quality series of topics too, on the same vein of what Compy does. He's been in since day one. He's one of the biggest haiku supporters that we have. We appreciate for him. He's a good mod. He's a good guy. What else can I say about Compy? He's done almost 500 haikus, or he's 400 haikus in his career of the stream. That's pretty impressive. GG's to you for having the silver medal. Second place, or last place, of course, or first place rather, excuse me. Does anybody not know or expect who this would be? There she is, the High Queen herself, Brand Diesel, on her throne, her faithful pooch, Zara/Poof, watching her. You know, a guard dog, fit for royalty, 365 haikus. When she told me that she was going to do a haiku for every calendar day, that's 365 haikus, of course I was skeptical. And it's been my experience that is to suggest that Brandy can't do something is to guarantee that the said thing would happen. I mean, what do you talk about? She's the master of the Cleve News haiku. There's probably 80 of those, at least, maybe even 100 of those over the course of the year. Stream meta stuff. Really, when I say something stupid, making me pay a price for it. General gaming stuff, a little bit of light trolling. She's the best. She's the backbone of the stream. She's been here since basically the beginning, and we're super glad to have her and super appreciative. Please don't stab us. She's the High Queen. We're all living in her world right now as far as haikus go, and I don't have enough praise, but I also want to keep all of my blood on the inside of my body. What do we have here next? This is the Rolling Champs list. This is going to cover all the haiku champs as they change throughout the year. You can see there, we're starting to pick up numbers here. Hocus is on there. We're getting into March. 500 haikus already. I will do this better next year. Into May, almost 900 haikus. Darth got to 100. I think Hocus is gone. Popcorn Cannon pops in. He makes his spot. Kelma spends a little time on the list. Kind of kicking around the same names there. Shadow's moving up the entire time. He's already in there. We're about to hit the sale here in a second. It's about to blow up. Boom. 1,600 haikus right there. Brandy's already in the 270s. 5 guys at 100. Shadow's about to get there here in a week or so. Look at that. 100 haikus out of Shadow. Into September we go. 2,000 haikus in September. And we keep rocking. Things have kind of settled down. People have kind of taken their spot. Gustavo bows away with his 69th haiku in October. Health pulls himself up in there, gets himself in there, and we kind of play out the rest of the string into November, finishing with a total of 2,515 haikus as season ends. What a year for haikus. What a year. I thought that was neat. I want to do that again. I want a better job of that next year. Let's do a little bit more before we get out of here. This is the all-time haiku champ list. This is the 10 people who have the most haikus of all time. Mind you, Philip, Fat Cat, didn't get a single haiku last year. Copy didn't get a single haiku last year. Brandy, lapping the field per usual. Darthling will be getting his 400th lifetime haiku here, hopefully early in 2024. Brandy, I don't know what her plan is to get to. She might get froggy and go for 1,000 total. I never know. I'm not going to say if she can or can't because I don't want to feel compelled to make her do a thing. 8 haiku hooligans getting 100. A couple guys on the precipice of going up, but that's a lot of haikus just from those particular 10 individuals. Let's talk about plans for next year. More haikus, more hooligans. I want more people in here. I want to get as many people in here as we can. I'm going to make a better book. Last year's haiku book was more successful than I thought it would be in terms of people wanting it. I was unsatisfied with the quality of it. My goal is to make something a little better at about the same price point. Because I think you guys deserve it. If you guys are going to support the stream and buy this stuff, I want you to have something that you're kind of happy with. More happy with, I should say. Casual gaming, I've decided that we're going to focus this year less on speedrunning or next year and more on casual gaming, which allows for more opportunities for haikus. It also creates more opportunities for gaming moments that we can enjoy as a stream. A couple other things. We're going to be adding a stream mascot for the month. Go in the Discord. I'm picking one animal per month. They'll get their own haiku. They'll be the stream mascot for the month. We want to make sure we bring some of our animal friends in here. This was an idea from Darthling. I like that idea, so I'm going to take it. I mean, not going to take it. He's asking me. He recommended it to me, so we wanted to do it. Another thing, join the Discord for the contest. The haiku contest features how many blank cards ended up in the haiku pile. When I'm making cards, I'm labeling them. Cards get stuck together. Blank cards end up in the pile. How many blank cards have I pulled out of here? I'll probably show that on stream here so you guys have an idea. But very exciting next year. I'm looking forward to doing it bigger, better, badder, and more. With apparently more of haiku Tom. Of course, he knows how his bread is buttered. Next, a few thank yous for everybody. Health for supplying a lot of the haiku music that we use during the haiku set lamb itself. Check him out at graymatter.bandcamp.com. Health's been super nice to me. I don't deserve this kind of friendliness. The music you're listening to now and additional haiku blues tracks provided by Every Time We Slay. What a talented guy. I'm playing a nice 15-minute loop of he just banged out magic for me of his own volition. We thank you very much, Slay. I appreciate you, bud. Miss Cleve and Cleve Jr. for being a pretty great family. This is a strange thing for a boy to watch his father do. I guess it could be worse, but I have a great family and they let me do what I gotta do, in spite of how weird it is. The community, so much emotes, so much content, so much fun throughout the year. Everybody who came in contributed something, even if you just came in once. Honorable mentions like Colin made me a lot of good emotes. Scythe made me some good emotes. Everybody, I don't want to forget anybody, but so much contributions from everybody. It's not a one-person show. I'm not the only person here. It does take everyone to make this work. And of course, for every single person who took out time to check the stream, whether you followed, whether you came in, you didn't like it, whether you came in, you liked it, and you came and you went, whether you came in for the gaming, whether you came in like the haikus, it's all good to me. I'm just so thankful that I've been able to get a community growing up from what we're doing here, and I'm very proud for what I've done, and I'm very thankful for all of you. Please don't stab me. Is that it? I believe that's it. Guys, that brings to the end the 2023 Haiku Report from Cleveland Tom Ministries. I want you to have a wonderful year, and I'll see you in 2024. Peace out, Girl Scouts.